regarding you having any disagreements with your wife or your spouse, you know, vice versa. Yeah. Don't do it where your kids can see that there's disunity.
Even in body language.
You, even in body language. Yes. And all of that. Hide it.
Yes.
Do it behind the scene for their own psychological well-being. Wow. And they're always testing it as well. You know, my son would tell me, but Daddy, you are the head of the house. So let us, some things that I know, that when they come to me, I know most likely their mom has said no. So when I say no, he will say, but you are the head of the house. Even if mommy said it, you are the head. You can say yes. I said no. So they will always test. But ensure that you maintain that united front. Wow. And I think it will make a lot of things easy, wow, you know, on the family.
Can your pastor ever, can your pastor can? Okay, I want to go to Professor Tafar, and then we start to close this. I hope I get a chance. I will just mention, if you're sent to the Family Mountain, some specific arenas where you might be called to play. I want to ask you, what are you observing, looking at children? And it's so many things in there. As you teach them, disciple them, what are you seeing? What should we parents pay attention to? What kind of influences are you observing? What are they most susceptible to? What is the degree of the power of peer pressure? What things do we notice in their personality that, you know, can begin to alert you to maybe exposure to the wrong media? How do they take in the word of God? Because I personally wonder sometimes if these movies they watch about Deborah and David and Goliath is really shaping them for the, in quote, evil in their generation. How do they take in? Because I used to use those videos. We will sit, and then Shikami would tell the story differently. So I just said, Oga, come, let me be using raw Bible. Then I will storify the raw Bible myself. It wasn't working for us, not us in their sense. Maybe I was just templating what I knew I could use, and then I would ask questions after, and we would use those particular scriptures all week, asking every night, how did you apply this in school today? And then doing the memory verses. So how does it work? Why did we determine that we should do coloring and watch movies? Do we have experiential data proving that these are discipleship tools that are most effective? And as they grow older,
calm down at some point, yes, and they just listen, and we can have conversations. Memory verse, we want to improve on that. We know it should be better. And what we want to do is we want to use songs that also have, because it's easier to memorize. But when we work very hard on that, you know, God bless Amaka, she did a lot of job there, and we want to build up on that. A lot of work there. So I'm also appealing to the parents that these spiritual songs, you know, they must be able to meditate on that and sing. Now, for these stories are also in themselves seeds that we're laying. They provide the context, but our responsibility is to expatiate and give meaning, because they're told as they are. And thank God for CBN and Superbook. They've done their best. We need more of that. So for us, it's a battle of content. I may be wrong in my approach to that, but it's a battle of content, and it's to just keep pumping and pumping and keep it as creative as possible. So to conclude the point on, like I said, it is what there's a lot of work, more work going on the family side versus in our own side. We are acting like icing, not even icing, we're just complementary to support what they're doing. And then the prayers for us is recite after me type prayers, because so that they learn. So we declare those prayers, and then they say after us. So because I'm giving you the terms of approach that we're using, and then we work with that. But to
anything you're worried about? Is there any trend, even if it's subtle, that you're observing?
Yeah, I can tell you some. So we don't have enough, and I don't know how other parents, and that's why some of those questions are important. We don't have enough on the content side. And we say, why am I emphasizing that? Because children, their minds are very active. Except we switch off TV completely or do it 4 p.m. like the days of the past. But they're restless, so